Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's City Council meeting. If you'll please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and we'll start right away into the citizens' concerns about items not on tonight's agenda. This is an opportunity for citizens to address the mayor and city council on the record in the open public meeting. No immediate action will be taken on these issues in the interest of fair and transparent city government. All issues will be investigated, researched, or addressed as necessary, and with the consensus of the city council placed on a future agenda. We give our speakers 5 minutes. They don't have to use it all, but they can if they wish. Is there anyone who wishes to address the city council this evening? Seeing none, we will go ahead and move on to the consent agenda. If a council member has a simple question on an item, they can ask before the mayor calls for the vote, or they can ask for it to be polled. We have the minutes of the May 27th, 2025 City Council meeting, claims for city operations, public use request for a block party for Browns, and then a public use request by the library. Is there anyone from staff that wishes to have anything polled? Any of our residents wish to have anything polled? Council? Seeing none, I would go ahead and entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Shannon, a motion by Mr. Reeves, and a second by Mr. Shannon. And we'll have the clerk call the roll.
Gurley? Yes. Kip?
Yes.
Reeves?
Yes.
Shannon?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Long?
Yes.
McMahon?
Yes.
Blanks?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, on to new business. We have BSRZ-01-25, a rezoning of 13905 Archer Road, Archer Meadows. Staff? Oh, I might mention this did have a public hearing, correct, at the Planning Commission, so no public comment. And I would ask anybody if they have any ex parte communications or any other disclosures, this would be the time. Saying none. Staff?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. Mark Lee, Community Development Director. The first item that I have is a rezoning for property out on Archer Road. Applicant Mr. Greg Woolard is looking to split a 20-acre parcel that he did a tract split on in 2021 in order to potentially sell 10 acres of his 20. The zoning across the street to the north is Archer Estates, which would match this zoning. It turns into LR, which is Loring Residential, allows for a little bit smaller lots. 10 acres, I think, is the minimum, if I recall. Where he is at now, he's required to have 20. So this is not necessarily a spot zoning. It is on the south side of the road, but it mirrors zoning that's nearby, not only on the south side of the road, but also on the north.
Is there anyone from the public wishes to speak on this item? I guess I shouldn't ask for that, should I? I would go ahead and entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to adopt an ordinance approving the rezoning request for 13905 Archer Road.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Shannon, a second by Mr. Reeves. We'll start with you, Mr. Shannon. Any comments, questions? Mr. Kipp?
No questions.
Ms. Gurley?
No question.
Ms. Wood? Mr. Kipp?
McMahon.
Mr. McMahon? I'm good with names tonight, aren't I?
Just because I'm going to ask a question. No, I'm just kidding. I have none.
No questions. Thanks, Mark.
Long. Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
Mr. Reeves?
No questions here.
That looks like this is a pretty easy item. I have nothing at all. So with that, I would go ahead and ask the clerk to go ahead and record the vote.
Blanks?
Yes.
McMahon?
Yes.
Long?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Shannon?
Yes.
Reeves?
Yes.
Kip?
Yes.
Gurley? Yes. Motion passes.
Okay, On to item number 2, FP-01-25, final plat for Archer Meadows, 13905 Archer Road. Staff?
Good evening again. Mark Lee, Community Development Director. This is the follow-up for this portion with the rezoning being approved. He is allowed to now split his 10-acre parcel, and that is in front of you or included in your packets, and there is some dedication of right-of-way as well as easements on it, so that is why you're seeing this. I guess one other thing, he was required to do this because of the track split was already done, so now he's required to plat it, so that's where we're at today.
Okay, thank you. And just to double check with you, there was no public hearing on this part, right?
No, the plat does not require one.
Okay, so is there any residents who wish to speak on this item? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to accept the dedication of public right-of-way and easements for the final plat of Archer Meadows, 13905 Archer Road.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Blanks and a second by Mr. McMahon. Hey, I'm here all night. Second by Mr. McMahon, and we'll start with you, Mr. Reeves.
Yeah, my only thought would be, is there anybody in the neighborhood, I didn't see that on this item, that was opposed to this in any way, or is there, this is with the zoning around that, was anybody concerned that this was going to be, what, residential? Or
No.
is it still agricultural? What is it?
I mean, it's technically would be an agricultural use, but it's residential zoning, so yes. But no, there was no
Okay.
concerns.
I have no questions, thank you.
No questions, thanks, Mark.
Mr. McMahon?
No questions.
No questions, thank you.
This zoning will allow for a minimum of 5 acres, is that right?
It will, but there's also road frontage
Going
that
to
has
ask,
to be met.
is there enough
Yeah.
frontage that it could be subdivided further?
I don't think so. I think this pretty much is going to limit it.
For both of the 10-acre parcels? Okay, thank you.
No questions.
No questions. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you all.
And I have nothing additional, so unless anybody has anything else, I would go ahead and ask the clerk to call for the vote.
Voting on a motion to accept the dedication of the public right-of-way and easements for the final plat of Archer Meadows. Kip?
Yes.
Shannon?
Yes.
Long?
Yes.
Blanks?
Yes.
Gurley? Yes. Reeves?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes,
McMahon?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it. On to item number 3, the Axon Body Camera Contract Early Renewal. Staff?
Mr. Mayor, council members, Billy Knapp, Chief of Police. I have a request tonight to do an early contract renewal for our body camera system. Back in 2017, we were authorized to move forward with acquiring the Axon body camera system. That relationship's been fabulous as we've worked through that program. Moving forward right now, the benefit is there's some technology changes that are coming forward that will increase the system pretty significantly. So we recommend moving forward now at this time to lock in the pricing.
Anything additional from staff? Is there any citizens that wish to comment on this? Seeing none, I would go ahead and accept a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to authorize the staff to renew an agreement with Axon for the Police Department Body Camera Program at a cost of $27,490.72 annually with a credit applied for 2025.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Shannon and a second by Ms. Blanks, and we'll start here with you, Mr. McMahon.
I have no questions. Thank you.
Ms. Wood?
I have none.
Ms. Gurley?
No, actually, yes. I was trying to determine, because it says the renewal, the cost is $27,490, and then it says the current annual cost is $23,988. So which one of those is accurate?
$23,988 is what we're paying today. It's going to go up. It's whether we go up. I can tell you that the new technology is going to raise it about 33%. So we're trying to keep that number down.
Okay, so the 27,400 is current and will hold for the next 5 years?
5 years, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Chief, thanks for staying on top of it. Appreciate it.
Ms. Blanks?
Thanks, Chief. Would they allow us to go any longer than 5 years, or was that the max?
5 years is the max they
Okay.
renew.
Great idea. Thank you.
Ms. Long?
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Reeves?
Nothing else here.
And I have nothing to add other than just I'm glad we do have these. I'm sure they've come in handy on more than one occasion.
Absolutely.
So if there's no other comments, questions, I would go ahead and ask the clerk to record the vote.
Voting on a motion to authorize staff to renew an agreement with Axon for the Police Department Body Camera Program at a cost of $27,490.72 annually, with credit applied for 2025. Gurley?
Yes.
Blanks?
Yes.
Kip?
Yes.
McMahon?
Yes.
Reeves?
Yes.
Long?
Yes.
Shannon?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, on to item number 4, the Axon Interview Room System Agreement Renewal.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members, Billy Knapp, Chief of Police. I have a request tonight. Our interview room system actually expires this year in July. We are looking to renew that service. It's actually a decrease, which is surprising coming from a company, but
Wow.
it does go down $62 and we'll take it. But the main reason for the decrease is we're not having to add new equipment. The equipment we have is up to current standards. So there's no need to add additional costs at this time.
Thank you. Is there any residents who wish to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and I would accept a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to authorize staff to renew the agreement with Axon for interview room services for an amount of $9,266.51.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Gurley and a second by Ms. Long. We'll start here with you, Ms. Blanks.
No questions. Thanks, Chief.
Ms. Long?
No questions. Thank you.
Mr. Reeves?
No questions.
Mr. McMahon?
Nothing for me.
Ms. Woods?
Nothing from me, but thank you.
Does this lock in for an extended term also?
5 years, yes.
5 years?
No question.
Thanks, Chief. No question.
Just a quick question is that I assume it has been helpful that we've got both systems by the same vendor.
Yes, working in cooperation together, it makes it seamless when we're transferring videos, especially to the DA's office or municipal court.
Well, good to hear then. If there's no other comments, questions, I would go ahead and have the clerk record the vote.
Voting on a motion to authorize staff to renew the agreement with Axon for interview room services, $9,266.51. Wood?
Yes.
Reeves?
Yes.
Long?
Yes.
Shannon?
Yes.
Blanks?
Yes.
Gurley?
Yes.
McMahon?
Yes.
Kip?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are you up for the next one then? I won't tell you thank you yet then. On to item number 5, acceptance of police service dog grant from the Ryan Griffin Memorial Scholarship Foundation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Billy Knapp, Chief of Police. What I have before you tonight is the acceptance of a grant we applied for the Ryan Griffin Memorial Scholarship Foundation to provide for a trained police canine. During the course of our budget preparations, we've tried to work in an additional police canine to expand our services here within the community. Currently, we have one canine that provides coverage to about half of the shifts. And we want to expand that program. We worked that into our capital improvement budget over the last few years, and it was set to be funded in 2026 with your blessing. During our process, we explored ways to try to decrease the impact to the budget. We learned of this opportunity during a fentanyl summit class, and we applied for the grant opportunity. It also should be noted that during our our Center for Public Safety Management study, there was a recommendation to add an additional canine to the police department's services at that time as well, and this would meet that recommendation. Happy to answer any questions.
Is there anyone from citizens who wish to speak on this item? Seeing none, I would go ahead and entertain a motion.
I make a motion to authorize the staff to accept the award of a police service dog grant from the Ryan Griffin Foundation.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Wood, a second by Mr. Reeves. We'll start with you, Mr. Shannon.
Chief, I think this is great. Just real happy for you and all the staff and everybody on the department because they're very valuable. So thanks for all you did.
Tremendous. Thank you.
Chico is narcotics trained, correct?
He's a dual-purpose patrol and narcotics.
And will this canine be similarly trained?
Yes.
And I see that it comes from a different training center than where we have normally gotten our dogs.
Correct.
Is it a similar approach to training where it would also be a public asset?
It'll have some similarities. We get to kind of request some of the things we want. I sent Sergeant Bargerstock actually to Troy, Missouri to meet with the vendor and kind of see what they're doing to make sure it meets our requirements before we brought it forward to the council. The bloodline, what we look at is really good. The training is going to be a little different. They attend a different type of certification that we do here. However, we have Sergeant Bargerstock, who's the trainer in that, and he's going to be able to train the dog to meet our requirements
Okay.
here.
And it will still be able to be an ambassador?
Yes.
Public ambassador level?
That's one of our requests to them when they select the dog from Holland, is that we wanted a dog that was community-driven.
Perfect, thank you.
Ms. Woods?
Can we meet the dog at some time?
Yes, you will.
Thank you.
Mr. McMahon?
I don't know how to follow up on that.
Woof, woof.
Chief, thanks for all you're doing, and it's unfortunate that it's necessary to have a second dog if you think about the reality of this. So I appreciate you being proactive, you and your team, and I appreciate everything that you guys do, your commitment, your loyalty to this town. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you to Captain Pate for her work on this grant and finding the money. I know money's hard to find right now through the grant process, and it is not an easy process, so thank you. I was reading through here. Did it say how much the dog is and how much is going towards it?
A trained police dog can range depending on where you go. So dogs can range anywhere from probably 7,000 to 30,000 or more, depending on what you're going. So their dogs, I can tell you, talking with the vendor, he charges about 8,000 to 13,000, depending on the dog. So that's kind of what we're looking at, around that 13,000 mark.
And then you just tell the foundation how much it is, and then they cover it?
They're covering
Or so like a
yeah,
budget?
they're covering the expense of the purchase of the dog with Dowdy Dogs.
Okay, great. And I echo what Chris said, meeting the dog, so let us know.
Will do.
Ms. Long?
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Reeves?
Yeah, now I take it that the dogs are staying with the patrol officer that's working with them, is that correct?
Correct.
And so that's basically the person that'll be with him at all times when he's on duty is that right? Or?
Correct.
Okay. I'm just trying to, I think it's a great idea. I'm not, but I'm just kind of curious how it works because people ask some questions.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I'm asking. And so then does the dog, or in this case, dogs, do they go out on patrol every day or not? Or?
The goal is to have them working opposing shifts, if you will. That way we can maximize the service available to the city. Currently with one dog, we cover about 2 officers that get to utilize the dog. And this would allow us to cover the rest of the other 20 because we'll be able to cover both sides. I guess to answer your question, yeah, the dog will provide additional service to the community.
Is it one like day shift and night shift or?
That's kind of probably not how we'll do it because we see more need for it on the night shift, especially searching buildings, especially with some of the developments that we have around town. We get burglarized, and so having that, criminals tend to lurk at night more than they do in the daytime.
Yeah.
So having them on those types of opposing shifts will be a little bit beneficial, but you'll see them out in the daytime as well.
Okay. Thank you. I'm just curious about some of this one.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And a couple questions. One is, I think Ms. Blank's already kind of asked, but I just want to kind of follow up on it. So basically, the grant covers all the costs of obtaining and securing the animal, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You also mentioned that you're going to outfit a third vehicle, so then the current backup vehicle will be used until such time, and then it'll go back as a backup?
Yes.
For both units?
Yes.
And then, we've had great success with our 2 officer dogs, first Officer Scout and now Officer Chico. So they have, I'm sure, have come in extremely beneficial to our community and to the police department. So I'm looking forward to having that third one on board. So if there's anything else, if not, I would go ahead and ask the clerk to record the vote.
Voting on a motion to authorize staff to accept the award of a police service dog grant from the Ryan Griffin Foundation. Kip?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Reeves?
Yes.
McMahon?
Yes.
Long?
Yes.
Gurley?
Yes.
Shannon?
Yes.
Blanks?
Yes.
Motion passes.
On to item number 6, and I assume you've got this one as well, Chief, and that's the acceptance of the Data Pilot Digital Forensics LTP grant.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Billy Knapp, Chief of Police. Cell phones, probably the easiest way to explain it, cell phone technology, we all have it. It's always changing. Unfortunately, in law enforcement, we have to find ways to investigate and utilize information contained within cell phones and other electronic devices. Currently, the Bonner Springs Police Department doesn't possess that sort of technology or ability to do that, so we have to rely on partner agencies to kind of help us and aid us in that process. What you've kind of seen across the market is it's gone to a per-use licensing, which makes it more difficult for us to get some of these agencies to relinquish those licenses to us. So we were having to explore how we can get that service so we can provide that service to the community. Those programs range from $25,000 to $75,000 annually, so they can be very costly. And plus, it depends on how many cell phones and electronic devices you're using that technology on, can increase that cost. So we explored another option with the Data Pilot Digital Forensics LTP grant. We had that company provide basically a demonstration to us to make sure it meets our needs. And it is a consent-based system, and what that means is the only feature it doesn't have is it doesn't hack a locked phone. And we can continue to utilize our neighboring partners for that service, but once we get it unlocked or we have consent, we can go ahead and download the phone or download the technological device based on our system that we'll have in our possession. It's an unfortunate reality. It's just a tool that we should have that unfortunately we just don't have, and it's the way of the future.
Jim, any resident wish to speak on this item? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to authorize staff to accept the Data Pilot Digital Forensics LTP grant.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Blanks and a second by Mr. Shannon. And we'll start with you, Mr. Reeves.
Yeah, thank you so much for looking this stuff up and saving us some money. Appreciate that so much, so thank you.
Ms. Long?
No questions, thank you.
Blanks?
You're real needy tonight, Chief. Thank you again to either Captain Pate or staff who was a part of, again, finding grant money, which I know allows you to reallocate funds for future budgets. So, yeah, this is amazing. Thank you.
Mr. McBain?
How exactly does this work?
So the system itself, it depends on what we're talking about. So if we're talking about cell phones, if we're talking
Cell
about
phones.
basically, what we would do is we connect the device to the system, and the system has its own software.
The cell phone?
Yep.
So you have to have physical possession of the cell phone?
Correct.
Okay.
Connect the device to the system. It has its own software that'll extract the data that's contained inside of the cell phone, including text messages, photographs, phone histories, Wi-Fi access data, and a litany of other technological data stored in the phone.
Is there any legal barriers that you have to get around to be able to do this for the Privacy Act?
You would, so depending on the situation, a lot of cases that we work, we can fall under what's considered a consent-based search. So if somebody gives us consent to go ahead and extract the data, we
Sure.
can go ahead and do that. The other thing is we can apply for a search warrant, get a search warrant granted to us, at which point, if we have access to the phone, we can download the phone.
By a judge?
Yeah. And otherwise, we would have to use, if the phone was locked and they refused to open it, we would then have to use one of our partner agencies to open that phone, and then we'd be able to access that data under that search warrant.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Woods?
It's kind of sad how police work has become so much more complicated with all the stuff with computers. And
We agree.
thank you for dealing with it.
Nothing for me.
Mr. Gibb? Mr.
Chief and Captain and everybody on staff, everything, thank you guys. This is great, and we're so proud of you guys that you're, and gals, that you're staying on top of things and creating opportunities to be more service and more knowledgeable in all you do. And it's, you guys are terrific and appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Chief. I have nothing else to add, so unless somebody else has got anything else, we'll go ahead and record the vote.
Voting on motion to authorize staff to accept the Data Pilot Digital Forensics LTP grant. Wood,
Yes.
McMahon,
Yes.
Kip,
Yes.
Gurley,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Shannon,
Yes.
Blanks,
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. That takes us on to reports, and we'll start with the city manager's report.
I don't have anything additional other than the reports in your packets. I just wanted to make sure that you see that we are closed on Thursday, June 19th for the Juneteenth holiday, and that we've updated the current developments website and the map or directory of local businesses, so I would encourage you to check those out.
Thank you, Ms. Vogan. And we'll start with the city council items. We'll go ahead and start with you, Mr. McMahon.
That sounds good. Thank you very much. As far as the new trash cans go, and so in regards to that new program, I have a constituent that has two locations. One is 413 East, 413 East 2nd Street, and the other one is 311 Alcut. She is requesting for the smaller trash barrels, or, right, not the 96s, but the next side down.
Is she requesting for physical limitations?
Yes. So, what do I need to tell her?
I'll get with you after the meeting, and then you can give me her name and we can add it on there.
Very good. And I just happen to have probably one of the few that hasn't received their trash cans yet, and it's 503 Alcut. She's right on the corner of Alcut and Nettleton. They've been by, they picked up other trash and stuff like that, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Is there some way we can get this repaired as quickly? Not repaired, that's not the right term to use. Can we get the lady her trash cans?
We are working
I have a
with
pickup
Waste
truck. I can go somewhere and grab them if you want me to.
We are working with Waste Management, and I send them a list every day of all of the people who have reported to us that they haven't had their cans, and I know they're working on getting them out to the residents,
Okay.
so.
I figured as much. And it takes a minute for a big program like this to come together, right?
And I'm pretty sure we have that address on the list.
Okay, thank you.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Before we go on, I am going to add real quickly. Yes, I've had a couple constituents as well who have also, for health reasons, just cannot handle those larger ones. And so we've worked out an arrangement, Chris did, with Waste Management to basically allow us an early swap of those individuals for health reasons needed the smaller ones, can't handle the 96. So she's putting that list together. If anybody, any of the council members up here have any constituents that have issues handling those 96 because of their size, please make sure Chris is aware of them.
Very good.
Okay, with that, I will, on to you, Ms. Woods.
Thank you very much, all of you, for working for the city. The detail work is wonderful. Thank you.
Ms. Gurley?
Since we're hitting on the trash topic, I know that our codes enforcement has better things to do, but we might need to make a couple of friendly stops just to tell people that the things they've put on the curb are no longer going to be picked up by Waste Management. Some of the stuff's been sitting out for a while, so they just might need that information. The map that Megan spent years putting together for downtown Bonner businesses is outstanding. Thank you for that. I'm so excited to have that reference. And City Band started last week. If you missed it, you have 8 more opportunities. Thursday nights, the concert starts at 8:30. Bring a lawn chair or a blanket, and a couple of bucks for the ice cream social to support our local organizations. We had 74 people in the band last week. We had 76 at our first rehearsal, so that is an outstanding number. We are so excited to have this opportunity to play music and keep our small town vibrant. And this am I right, Emily, this next week is Evenings on Oak?
This week.
This week.
This
coming
Thursday.
week, This Thursday. So you can come downtown, shop, drink, get the food trucks, and then come listen to the band.
I want to, Chris, thanks for all you're doing with the trash waste management and everything. It's, I know there's a lot going on, and you've done wonders, and really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Megan and Linda and Heather we've all been inundated, so they have been a big, huge help with that as well.
To add that. Thank you. I didn't know everybody, but
Ms. Blanks?
I have a few things. One, is there any updates on that hole in the ground on Kindred and Nettleton, right on the corner? I know a month ago a kid fell into it, and then we put a barrier up to help with it. I just didn't know if that's getting taken care of soon, maybe?
I'll check on that. I know
Okay.
that would be probably the Conley water line
Okay.
issue. There was another spot on Bluegrass, I think,
Yeah, Bluegrass,
that
the
had
second.
a deep area that the barriers kept moving and allowed it to be unsecured. So we'll check on that one too.
Thank you. Any idea, mainly just because I'm excited, when the Second Street sidewalk is being finished? I know rain has really set back projects, but I just didn't know if they're just essentially waiting for some good dry days to finish it.
Yeah, I'll check with Matt on that. I know that he's kind of been chasing them on a completion date.
Cool.
Just because they've had a lot going on, but.
Totally get it. I'm just really excited since I live off Second. I thank you again to staff for all their work on waste management and helping to try to streamline this process. I know I didn't have a trash can last week, but it showed up this week because I was on that list of missed drop-offs, so thank you. And then thank you to Megan for that map for the city. That's very exciting, and I've seen people post about that, of just new businesses, or even Lake of the Forest has requested a packet of those to hand out to new residents, so that's, wow.
That's awesome.
That's great, thank you. And then, yes, we have Evenings on Oak this Thursday from 4 to 8, and then City Band starts at 8:30. And then on Wednesday, June 25th, is the Country Stampede Kickoff Party in Centennial Park. So we'll have live music, food trucks, and some vendors. And then Jim Jenkins from the VFW asked me to share, there is an event at Wyandotte County Lake on June 28th, and it is the rededication ceremony of the Korean-Vietnam Conflict Memorial from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So everybody from the community is invited to attend. And then lastly, I do want to thank the city for their support and Mr. Mayor for his address. We had over 100 people at our business appreciation luncheon on Thursday at the Ag Hall, and it went really, really well. So thank you for coming to speak on that and give updates to everybody. And then Mayor Kahar was there as well and gave a great update. And then thank you to Bonner Beautiful Commission for presenting some great awards to great businesses. Thank you.
Ms. Long?
I don't have anything much, but I did want to make a couple of comments here. Megan and staff, thank you so much for work with waste management. I echo what everyone else had to say. And then also just a plea to, or I guess just an appeal to the citizens of Bonner Springs, many of whom are in this room tonight. Around 7 years ago, I started coming to city council meetings because the collective itself was just overwhelming, and I wanted to see what I could do to make things better where I live, because that's what felt like I had control over, and was showing up to city council meetings pretty regularly. And then when it came time for someone to run, I noticed that there was nobody running, and so I talked to a lot of people who are way smarter than me and tried to convince them to run for city council. No one would, and I ended up running unopposed. And it was really disappointing because as I look out and see no engagement, no offense to staff in the room, but no engagement from citizens here unless there's a major issue. I find that the only way that our democracy thrives and continues is if we get engaged, get interested, and stay interested in civic activities, whether that's serving on city council or being involved in one of the many, many commissions and groups, organizations that we have here in Bonner Springs. There's got to be some more interest because once again, I found myself in a position of running unopposed. And that really makes me sad because I would like to have some competition. I'm not a politician. I'm not very smart. The people of Bonner Springs, Ward 1, honestly deserve someone smarter than me sitting up here. And I'm what they get because they didn't bother to run, to push anyone to run, and probably won't even go out and vote in these midterm elections. So just an appeal to the citizens of Bonner Springs to get more involved, to get more active, and also it is my honor to be able to serve on this city council alongside each and every one of you. So I'm not saying that I don't want to be here, I just think there are smarter, better people who could be sitting in this seat. And so just wanted to kind of put that out there for the next midterm election cycle. Maybe people could start thinking about getting involved and running.
Let the record show that Ms. Long is capable and is smart to sit up here in this position.
Yes.
And just by showing up and serving your community and actually caring to that length shows the community, in my opinion, that you are right for this position and you're doing a great job. So don't knock yourself.
What she said.
That was probably the most humble victory speech I've ever heard. Congratulations.
Mr. Reeves, you're up.
Yeah, don't put yourself down. I think it was Abraham Lincoln said one time, anything worth doing is worth doing poorly, okay? So if nobody else is going to do it, you do it, do the best you can, and you'll get better. Even if you don't think you will, you are, and you're doing a good job anyway, so. Now, am I still allowed to speak here now? Okay. The trees I've noticed at the cemetery, are they being watered on a regular basis? Do we know? Okay, that's one question I had. Somebody was asking me about that. I thought they, what?
New trees or
New
existing?
trees.
Okay. They should be.
Yep. Just make sure they are, I guess, because I had some questions on from some people after, you know, the Memorial Day, making sure those trees get watered. Okay. Also, in visiting some other cities, I've noticed that there's getting to be quite a number of cities that have splash pads. And I know that was one of the things that was on the list on that survey years ago about getting a splash pad. I know we got a grant for the exercise park, but I think we need to look forward and doing something there. Okay, there's a picture of that on.
It's coming.
Is it coming?
Projected, I think, right?
Okay. Anyway, I think we need to hurry up with it.
Are you going to go?
We'll get you out there to start getting a shovel, Bob.
Okay, anyway, this is what's at Baser, which is a very, very attractive park. In Maryville, Missouri, I noticed they had one that was even bigger and nicer than this one. And so, you know, there's stuff out there. I think if we can start looking toward that, finding out what companies do this kind of quality of work and what their basic prices are and what they're looking for in a place to put that in our city, you know, like out around the swimming pool, or if it needs to be in the center of the city more, or whatever. But I really think this is an addition. You should see all the people up there at Baser that are flocking, literally flocking to this park, along with the playground that's right next to it. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. You know, you need to go up there and look at it. It's really fantastic. And as you go around to other cities on your travels, look to see what cities have. You're going to find there's lots of places out there that have these. And it seems to be a drawing point for young families, which we need to have something here for young families. We're a little bit lax on that, I think, in this city. So I think something like this is a good drawing card. So I'm anxious to, you know, do something about getting this on an agenda for at least exploring the possibilities of it. So Thank you.
I hear what you're saying, Bob. I come at it from a little different perspective because we have a pool that we really need to support, or we're going to have to close it.
Yeah, I'm hoping we don't have to close.
I don't know. I'm not a huge, I know splash pads are really popular. I just haven't quite gotten on board yet.
Yeah, so, yep. Anyway,
I know, I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
thank you very much.
You're welcome very
I
much.
do think we have I do think we have a lot of activities that families could be involved with, and they're easy to be involved with. They just need to get involved. That's part of it.
Okay, with that, we'll go on to the mayor's report, and I'll make it real short and simple. Ms. Long, no, you are more than smart enough and have the intelligence to be up here, just like everyone else up here, and you bring your own skill set. And it's not always about being the smartest person in the room. It's about working with everyone and working together in collaboration to move the city forward. So, no, you are very much appreciated up here. Also, I mentioned on the band concerts, as Ms. Gurley has talked about, I never see the band. My back's to them. They sounded wonderful, but I'm looking at the crowd, and I bet we had close to 100 plus out in the audience. It was full. So, but along with what she was saying about next week, just remember, because we won't have another council meeting before then, we will not have a band concert on the 19th, though. For Juneteenth, there will not be a band concert. So I just want to make sure everybody's aware of that. One this week, but not one next week. So if there's anything else by anyone else have anything? If not, I would go ahead and accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Gurley, and I'll flip a coin. I'll give it to Ms. Blanks.
No, I just wanted to.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? We're adjourned. I don't know why. I think what happened is